This is the Gritty Birds, and today we're going to give a little bit of Thanksgiving thanks. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. While the bells and whistles of Christmas have always drawn me, there was something about Thanksgiving that felt easy. In the Midwest, sometimes there were storms, and what that meant was that a lot of our holidays were spent in Fort Dodge, Iowa, just sitting in our living room with one of our neighbors. But we always had the fixings, and we always switched the television from It's a Wonderful Life to the football games. When I got to high school, Thanksgiving took on a new meaning. The All-State Choir and Music Festivals of Iowa are a big part of the musician world of high schools across the state. Starting in the fall, we would prepare and go to camps, and then audition, and finally get together the weekend before Thanksgiving to sing. I would meet up with other musicians, and finally, my family started to grow to meet people who were my age, who did things that I really loved. The concert would be aired on Thanksgiving Day, and we would always take a listen after eating our food. My favorite thing about the concert was the Battle Hymn of the Republic. And in a month in a state where often politics was huge in conversation, there was something about standing up there with 500 other people and saying how important our country was that mattered and felt deeper than anything else. When the roaring sound of music and orchestras came together, we all felt a little more united. We all felt a little bit more like we were family. When I graduated, I kept doing music, but I also started doing something with my holidays. I started to spend Thanksgiving in a little bit different ways. I would usually still spend it in Fort Dodge, but I started to expand that. And throughout college, I started taking trips. I went to New York one year leading up to the holiday. Another year, I went out and spent it on the West Coast with my family. The West Coast trip was really important to me because I'd never been out there on my own. And as we spent that holiday, I got to have my first glass of wine with family for dinner, something that had never really been a part of my experience growing up. And I got to go to the water and put my feet into the ocean, and seeing the Pacific coast drew me in such a way that I knew that I had to experience that on a deeper level. I went to New York a couple of years later. I'd always sort of had a dream when I was in 7th grade that I was going to be on Broadway and that I was going to be the triple threat. The thing was I couldn't dance. I still can't dance to this day, at least in the way that I dreamed about. Being there in that magical time of year, walking through the streets where there are so many cultures and so many people, seeing the towers and seeing the empty space made me realize that we were just a small fraction of something so huge. I moved to the West Coast 10 years ago, and mostly I spent my time with my brother and with my cousin and with other friends, and we would spend the holiday having a ton of amazing food, followed by leaving for the next few days and going for a little camping trip on the West Coast. One year, we were going on a hike, and I had been watching the ocean, and being somebody who's always felt really comfortable to water, I wasn't being careful, and I nearly got pulled out in the riptide and was in danger of drowning if I had not made the quick decisions I'd made instinctually to pull myself to the ground and grab onto some logs. That was a really eye-awakening moment for me. And it kind of went back to these realizations of Thanksgiving that have happened for so many years. When you literally see your life flashing before you, it makes you look at things a little differently. It makes you see the future. And that was the spring that I left, and I went and became a teacher. This year, For the 5th year in a row, I'm spending my Thanksgiving with people who I'm not related to. Family has been an interesting journey for me. As the holidays come and as our cities change and as travel changes, it means that sometimes the people that we become closest to become a part of a bigger tribe for us. For me, Gritty Birds, and to you, my listeners, you're a bit of that family. You're a bit of that tribe. And while many of you might even be related to me, imagine today that we're taking a little bit of pumpkin pie and we're sharing it. 2016 has been a hard year for a lot of people. For me, it began getting fired in February. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a really stinky way to start. But what it did was it stopped me for a second, and it brought me back to a quote that my mentor Overton Berry said to me a long time ago. He said, sometimes it's the world telling you to slow down. On this Thanksgiving, I send you my love. I send you my warmth. I send you my forgiveness. I send you my hope. I send you all of the feelings that I can gather and bring to you authentically. Now, I hope you enjoyed this different kind of Thanksgiving. You, of course, can follow me, as you already are, at GRITTYBIRDS. And next week, we'll be back on a regular schedule with Chuck Westmoreland as you hear me in my studio with the rain falling down. I wish all of you and yours a blessed, safe day. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.